Council, it is Monday, March 2nd, 2026, 7:30 PM in council chambers. Tony, please call the roll.
Bevins?
Here.
Chesak?
Here.
Johnson?
Here.
Stunek?
Here.
Yeager?
Yep.
Erickson?
Here.
O'Day?
Here.
Bedell?
Here.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, next up, number 4, we have approval of the agenda. Looking for
Motion to approve.
motion by Chesak, second by Bevins. Any discussion? None, let's go to a vote. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Against, same sign. Motion carries. Number 5, we have the consent calendar. This is a notice to public that all matters listed are considered routine by the council, will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless good cause is shown prior to the time the council votes on the motion to be adopted by roll call.
So move.
Motion by Stunek. Second by Johnson.
Mr. Chair, may I just
Bevins.
ask a question on
Sure.
this? Who's writing the Public Works?
Who's writing
Yeah.
the Public Works?
Yeah, we
Running.
did
The update.
The update.
Oh, the
I thought it was good. I thought it was really easy to read.
You write that?
I
Mr. Dean?
I imagine Jesse did.
Mostly falls on me, but I have a staff that helps put that together.
So the Public Works Department.
Really easy to read, thank you.
All right. Any more discussion? Seeing none, we'll go to a roll call. Tony?
Bevins?
Yes.
Chesak?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Stunek?
Yes.
Yeager?
Yes.
Erickson?
Yes.
O'Day?
Yes. Motion carries. Next up, number 6, we have a public forum. This is time allocated for citizens to bring matters not on the agenda to the attention of the council. Time limits may be imposed. So if there's anybody here that wants to address the council on something not on the agenda, please come forward. And if you're online and you'd like to address the council, press *3. That'll raise your hand. Ask again if there's anybody that would like to address the council tonight on something that is not currently on the agenda. Please come forward. Nobody online, Max? All right, with that, we will close the public forum, 7:32. And skipping past number 7, we have no presentations. Moving right on to number 8, council committee reports. First up, we have Safety and Public Works Committee Chairman Tad Erickson.
All right, thank you, Mr. President. We've got 5 items on our agenda. The first of which is cost share with the City of Baxter for Delwood Drive surfacing. The motion coming out of committee is to approve the cost share with the City of Baxter in the estimated amount of $19,440, and I so move.
Second.
Motion by Erickson, second by Chesak. Mr. Erickson, do you have something to add?
Question at the end, and I do.
Bevins? Go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna vote against this.
Okay.
And here's why. I was on the council when this initially came up. And the one part that you can't read, because it's not in the ordinance in 2015, is the discussion or the part of the, I apologize. The part that's missing is the part of the agreement where the city of Baxter wrote a letter signed by Mayor Darrell Olson that I had in my hand, agreeing that if we gave our half of Delwood Drive to them, we would agree to all the stuff that's in the ordinance, but they would also meet with us regarding the property under our public utilities, which is currently in the city of Baxter. Then they declined to do that. And I don't think that's right. If you agree to do something as part of a larger agreement, I think you should stand up to what you agreed to. And they agreed to it. The mayor signed it. I had it sitting in my hand, sitting in that chair. And then they declined after the annexation or the change in agreement on the property on Delwood Drive took effect. And to quote Mr. Chesak, it's always the city of Brainerd that shoulders the burden for all the other governments and all the other people that want something. And we have to, do the good thing. And I think this time we shouldn't. I think we should make them stand up to their part of the agreement. And if you go back and listen to the tapes, you can hear it. Tony could probably even find the conversation. But it was agreed to, and it was not part of the ordinance, and that was a mistake. But now's the time that they should, and I think they should do it. I think we should have a discussion about that public utilities property. How it happened to end up in Baxter, I don't know. That was before my time. But we asked, if nothing else, to go on the record as to what we think should be done with that property. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing that up, Mr. Bevins. Mr. Erickson?
Well, and I should have described the item here for the public momentarily, and I can do that. So what it is for Delwood Drive, there's a cost, staff is recommending a cost share for microsurfacing of the portion of Delwood that's in the city of Brainerd. So road treatment for the maintenance of that road. Just wanted to kind of clarify the agenda item.
Thank you. So the confusing part that for me, we didn't budget for this. It's a fairly small item when it comes to the grand scheme of things, but this is the kind of discussion that I think Mr. Bevins is talking about, where we can work together a lot better between two cities. So going forward, whether this goes through or not, I think we can request that we talk about these types of projects before the budget season so that it doesn't come up like this. Mr. Chesak?
Yes, to Mr. Bevins's point, I won't dispute what he says he had in his hand, but it would seem to me, I'd like to consider the council to accept a follow-up motion after we vote on this, but if you would allow me after we vote on this to make another related motion to what Mr. Bevins was speaking of?
Sure.
Okay.
Anyone else? Seeing none, let's go to a vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against, same sign.
Aye.
We got 3 against, 4 yes. So that motion carries.
Mr. President?
Mr. Chesak?
Yeah, I'd like to see if the council will entertain a motion to ask the city of Baxter for either the letter that Mr. Bevins referenced or minutes to that effect from their council meetings, and I so move.
Motion by Chesak, second by Bevins. Discussion? Pretty straightforward. Seeing none, let's go to a vote. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Against, same sign. Motion carries. Chairman Erickson.
All right, thank you, Mr. President. This is our second item, event street closure application, 4th of July Red, White, and Boom. The motion coming out of committee is to approve the special event street closure application for Balloon Fest Red, White, and Boom with the conditions included in the attachment, and I so move.
Second.
Motion by Erickson, second by Chesak.
Yeah, well, in the attachment, we have the application for the Loon Fest event. It's planned to be held on the 4th of July in coordination with Community Action's 4th of July festivities. Yeah, there was a question asked in committee if they had experienced performing such an event. They had. They'd done the event out in Memorial Park last year. And, yeah, I guess the applicant's here if there's other questions.
Thank you. Any more questions?
Yeah.
Mr. Chesak?
Yeah, I think the mayor is trying to keep a lid on this, but I heard a rumor that they were actually gonna have the fireworks go off downtown Brainerd, so the people down there could just watch them after the music ends, so.
Don't start that now.
You'd like to confirm that?
You want to say something, Mr. Mayor? Sorry.
Well, now I have to speak. So, Dave Bedell, Executive Director of Brainerd Community Action. This is not particular our event. We are doing it in coordination. We are the 4th of July people. We are running the entire 4th of July Loon Fest, or in this case, the Red, White, and Boom event will be taking place with our help, but as a separate thing. And no, the fireworks will not be blasted off downtown. That sounds really dangerous to me. So I just want to take that rumor and nip it right in the bud and thank Councilman Chesak for putting that out into the ether.
Well, the name Boom kind of implied, so.
No, that will not be happening. Fireworks will happen in the exact same place. There will also be other music as well on the 4th of July.
Thank you.
Well, to that point, though, that, the times that they put in here for 7 PM to 10 PM, obviously coordinated so that, the music would end and then the group would have a chance to move down to the fireworks.
Correct. Mr. Bevins?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I apologize, Mr. Community Action. This might be directed more towards you. In the past, there's been some concern with actually closing that intersection. The little farmer's market that used to be downtown, there was a considerable resistance from businesses to closing that, and they moved it just slightly north up 7th and didn't close the intersection of Laurel and 7th. Same thing with the J.C. Street Fest. They didn't want to close that. Have local businesses been polled regarding actually closing that intersection?
Not to my knowledge, however, as someone that spends every 4th of July in and out of downtown, downtown's pretty much a ghost town on the 4th of July. Most of our small businesses spend time with their families and opt not to be open. So this, I believe, is a great opportunity for us to try and bring something back down to specifically the restaurants. But if those small businesses choose to be open, there will still be ample parking along the area. And again, as someone that lives downtown on the 4th of July, I can tell you that there's ample space for this to take place.
Thank you.
Sounds like an outdoor camping ordinance violation.
Anybody else have questions? All right. Seeing none, we have a motion. So let's go to a vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against, same sign. That motion carries. Chairman Erickson.
Thank you. Our third item is Improvement 2505 Southeast Brainerd Reconstruction Right-of-Way Description Proposal. The motion coming out of committee is to approve the proposal from Bolton and Menk for legal description services in the amount of $925, and I so move.
Second.
Motion by Erickson, second by Chesak. Chairman Erickson.
So this is a proposal from Bolton and Menk to provide additional services, to provide legal description for the right-of-way on Laurel Street in the amount, I mentioned the amount, of course. As you can see from the map there, the entire portion of this roadway, this one block segment, is on an easement to the Northern Pacific Center. And so the item here would be getting the legal description cleaned up and kind of more solidified for what's there.
Thank you. Any more discussion?
I guess I have a question of staff too. You know, so there's this one small, if I could,
Yeah, go for it.
for Jesse. So there's this one block segment, but you had mentioned this potential for the need to do this further down Laurel Street in this area. Can you kind of expound on that?
Yes, we have kind of property line issues throughout the entirety of Laurel Street, some of the oldest plats in town. So it would be something that we would look as we continue these projects moving to the west and continuing to do Laurel Street, cleaning up some of those permanent roadway easements. We're doing this one right here because we're working on those designs currently, and it was very advantageous to have Bolton and Menk do this at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you. More discussion? Seeing none, let's go to a vote. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Against, same sign. Motion carries. Chairman Erickson.
All right, our fourth item is construction, observation, and testing contract with SEH for Voyagers Heights Development Project. The motion coming out of committee is to approve the proposal from SEH in the total amount of $74,200 for the Voyagers Heights project, and I so move.
Second.
Motion by Erickson, second by Chesak. Erickson, anything to add?
Yeah, just that this is a proposal from SEH coordinating with Braun Intertech to perform construction, observation, and materials testing and for services on the Voyagers Heights development. As noted in the packet there, the cost of this would come out of that cash escrow account that Keepers is providing.
Okay. More questions, discussion?
May I?
Mr. Chesak.
Yeah, we were informed afterwards that any staff time spent on this will be reimbursable. So if our staff is asked to assist and put time in, we will be reimbursed for that through the developer. Is that correct, Mr. Dean? Correct. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no more discussion, let's go to a vote. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Against, same sign. Motion carries. Chairman Erickson.
Thank you. This is our last item, direction on active code enforcement. Motion coming out of committee is to tow the trailer, weather dependent, and I'm looking for the address here. Is up there. James, can you remind me? I don't see the address at the moment.
Yes, thank you, council member. So it doesn't have an address, but does have a PID number. It's 41191502. The reason it doesn't have an address is vacant property. It is across the street from Lowell on 4th Avenue Northeast on being the east side of Lowell Elementary.
And then Max, if you could maybe scroll down to the photo there. So there's a trailer on a vacant lot. The White House is the neighbors, and then you see the garage there. So the trailer on a vacant lot that's needs to be moved. And the property owners received letters and notice of citation.
This is a repeat offender, correct? This is something that we've dealt with multiple times in the same lot?
That's correct. It's been noticed multiple times on the lot. We did have to, a couple years ago, tow multiple vehicles and trailers off the property.
So it's a salvage yard for this person, essentially, okay. All right, any more discussion? Seeing none, let's go to a vote. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Against, same sign. Motion carries. Chairman Erickson?
End of report.
Thank you, Chairman Erickson. Moving on to Personnel and Finance Committee Chairman Gabe Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have 4 items on our agenda, the first of which is the designating the statewide affordable housing aid funds. The motion out of committee is to award Lakes Area Habitat for Humanity $74,605 in statewide affordable housing aid, and I so move.
Second.
Motion by Johnson, second by Stunek. Chairman Johnson.
We have funded Habitat the last 2 years with this money, and they have done an incredible job spending it wisely, creating single-family homes in our community, so we want to continue to support that.
Thank you. Any more discussion? Seeing none, let's go to a vote. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Against, same sign. Motion carries. Chairman Johnson.
Thanks up. Next one is informational. The Friends of the Library are looking at potentially renting some annex space from us, but staff is just in discussions with them, and we don't have any numbers or proposals or leases to vote on yet. But it's just kind of an FYI. If anybody thinks this is an absolutely terrible idea, speak up now. Otherwise, staff will continue doing what they have been.
Any discussion on that? Sure. Yep, Mr. Chesak?
Anticipate a fair market rate for the rent. Has that been discussed or is it on the table, I would assume?
Jeff, we haven't discussed it. I would expect that we would charge fair market rate. This is a private entity, separate, it's its own corporation. We shouldn't be having the taxpayers subsidize it in any way. So my expectation is that it would, but we have nothing in front of us to vote up or down on right now.
There won't be a $4 million ask or anything?
Maybe.
Okay.
We don't know yet. More discussion? All right, Chairman Johnson.
Thank you. The third item is retirement of the Police Chief John Davis, and the motion is to accept with regret the retirement of Police Chief John Davis effective April 30th, 2026, to approve the updated Police Chief job description as presented, and to authorize staff to conduct an internal hiring process to backfill the position, and I so move.
And I second with regret.
Motion by Johnson, second by Stunek. Chairman Johnson.
This is, it's sad news. John Davis has been an exceptional police chief for this city, and we are all saddened that he will enter retirement, but he's got grandkids to hang out with, and you can't fault him for that. And we're confident that in an internal hiring process, we will be able to find a new police chief within our current department without having to go look outside. So we're happy to report on that too.
Yeah, I wish we could keep him around forever, but when you got grandkids and you got other stuff you got to take care of, I understand. All right, we have a motion. Mr. Chesak.
Do we anticipate the internal search being completed by the end of April?
Mr. Broyles.
Position filled?
Yes, we'll be advertising. If the council moves forward with this motion tonight, we'll be advertising right away. And we will probably be on the short end of that advertisement, what we probably minimally need to post that job for. So we'll move as quickly as we can, but absolutely by the end of April for sure.
Thank you.
Any more discussion? Seeing none, let's go to a vote. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Against, same sign. That motion carries. Chairman Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Our final item is about the Royal Tire TIF District from 2015. And the motion is to modify the redevelopment agreement for the use of the facility other than an automotive services facility, and I so move.
Second.
Motion by Johnson, second by Bevins. Johnson?
So we created this TIF district back in 2015, and in the agreement, in the language of the agreement, it said it had to be an automotive services facility. Well, Royal Tire, the business has since closed. They have found a tenant who wants to move in, is willing to move in, has a lease, but they're not in the automotive services industry. So it's a violation of the contract. We have two options. We could just cancel the contract and get rid of the TIF district, or we could keep the TIF district going, which DLP Investments has requested that we do. And the motion is to keep going with the TIF district, but to modify the language to allow their new tenant to operate.
Thank you, Chairman Johnson. How far into this agreement are we? What year was it made?
It was made in 2015. It was the quicker of 200 or 170, Connie? It was a quicker of $170,000 being recouped or 27 years. So far, of the $170,000 in principal, the balance is $175,000 in principal. So it will likely last 27 years.
So we're 12 years in?
Yeah.
11 years in? Okay. Okay, any more discussion? Seeing none, let's go to a vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Against, same sign. Motion carries. Chairman Johnson?
End of report.
All right, thank you. Moving on to number 9, unfinished business. First up, we have a call for applicants, and first up, we have Mr. Mayor.
Well, first up before that, at our last meeting, I made a nomination of an individual who put in an application. Their name is Corey J. What came out of my mouth was Corey Johnson. And not only did I nominate them, you here as the council accepted that nomination. Corey Johnson owns Domino and is a very good friend. Love you, Corey Johnson. But I did not mean to say Corey Johnson. I meant to say Corey J. Corey J has already been sworn in with his oath on the BPU commission. So we're good to go there, but I do want to clarify, because it was made aware to me that I don't know how to speak and or use people's names properly. So Corey J was the nomination for BPU, and I don't know if we need to correct that here or just correct it.
I'd move to approve that nomination.
Appreciate it.
Second.
Motion by Johnson, second by Bevins. Discussion?
Yes. If this gets passed, do we have to then rescind the motion to approve Corey Johnson?
Corey Johnson never applied. We should have never appointed.
Just say he no-showed.
Picking people out of the phone book.
Maybe he wants to be on it.
He might.
Maybe, yeah.
He might be at the next meeting.
Listen, I'm a big guy, and pizza is my favorite.
I was trying to be facetious, I'm sorry.
Any more discussion, like real discussion? Seeing none, let's go to a vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against, same sign.
Okay, having accomplished that task, I'm therefore not going to make any nominations tonight and put my tail between my legs, come back next meeting and try again. So we have applications available for the following committees and commissions. Charter Commission, 2 terms expiring 2029, 2 terms expiring 2026. Economic Development Authority, 1 term expiring 2028, 1 term expiring 2031. Library Board, 1 term expiring 2027. Public Utilities Commission, 1 term expiring 2030. And the Transportation Advisory Committee, 1 term expiring 2026, 2 terms expiring 2027.
And as council president, I have 1 term on the Airport Commission open, expiring 2028, 1 on the Planning Commission, expiring 2028, and 2 terms on the Water Tower Committee. Next up, 9B, we have a resolution for the orderly annexation agreement. I'll hand this over to James Krambeck, Community Development. Take it away, James.
Thank you, Mr. President. So City Council held a public hearing at the February 17th City Council meeting and considered an orderly annexation agreement designating area for orderly annexation for properties adjacent to and near Riverside Drive. City Council heard public testimony and delayed a decision on the agreement and directed staff to provide additional information. Again, the joint resolution with the county before the City Council tonight establishes an orderly annexation area. It does not annex properties into the city of Brainerd. Based on the criteria of the agreement, Area 1 would be subject to annexation by City Council resolution. Area 2, which is Ashman Road, could not be annexed until there is a proposed utility extension project down that road, which would most likely be in the distant future. However, it would allow staff to begin planning. Some of the notes that I had prepared, the zoning is not established in this agreement. It would be established upon resolution to annex properties into the city. Staff did perform kind of an initial review of this area, and properties would most likely be zoned garden living for consistency of adjacent properties. Staff did attach the zoning district regulations for garden living to the agenda item. Staff has also completed a draft version of our Shoreland Overlay District update, which was required by the DNR. It has been submitted to the DNR for review. We'll need final approval from them as well as City Council. Staff did use Crow Wing County as a model ordinance in creating the proposed ordinance, so not much would change for the Shoreland District regulations for these properties. Staff was made aware that we do need to update our Mississippi Headwaters regulations, which is another overlay district along the Mississippi River, as it has not been updated for 20 years. This proposed annexation area in Area 1 specifically along the Mississippi River would be subject to those regulations. Staff will be working on a draft that would update the Mississippi Headwaters overlay district for the minimum requirements as required by that board. The county must also adhere to these requirements, so there would not be much change for these property owners. Staff does not recommend actually annexing these properties in by resolution until completion of the update, as properties would have a moratorium from issuing building permits until we meet those minimum requirements. Properties in the city limits are subject to the Minnesota Building Code, and building permits would be required, different from the county. Staff did provide estimates on building permits. Permits are required, again, from the county as well, but they do not perform building inspections. While permit fees and also the cost of permits would most likely be higher. Building inspections, staff did note, are a benefit to property owners when selling the home, as title companies or new owners do ask for inspection reports. And with that, I'll turn it over to Connie to discuss tax implication as well as property values.
So Finance answered the questions of how would annexation affect the assessment value or the tax value of the property and the impact on property taxes. The assessment value on the tax value of the property would not be affected from annexation. The county assessor's office values the property for both the city of Brainerd and the first assessment district. Property would be placed in one of the city's 9 residential neighborhoods rather than one of the 6 first assessment residential neighborhoods. The neighborhoods are adjusted annually based on the sales that occur in the neighborhoods from the period of October through September prior to the valuation date. In speaking with the county, sometimes the adjustments are the same, sometimes first assessment might be higher than the city neighborhood or vice versa. The impact of annexation on the property taxes. For comparison purposes, staff used the 2026 total tax rates and assumed other factors would stay the same. Using the 2026 tax rates, it is estimated that the property taxes would about double for the property being in the city. The example that was used was the example that was included in the memo was for a residential homestead with an assessed market value of $440,000, excluding the portion of the school referendum tax that would be the same for either jurisdiction. The total taxes paid, which would be the local jurisdiction, the county, school, and other taxes, would have been $2,192 for unorganized and $4,293 in the city, for a difference of about $2,100. Now I'll turn it over to Paul.
Yeah, so staff did go, and we did talk to an appraisal company for guidance regarding market impacts to properties. Based on their experience as a licensed appraiser, they have not observed property values decrease as a result of connecting to municipal utilities. While the level of value can increase, varying on a lot of factors, such as the aging condition of the existing well and septic system, they indicated that connection to city utilities generally improves the market value and marketability of properties. The only scenario where they could see it being limited is if a homeowner recently invested in a new well and septic system. But even in that scenario, they had a very high likelihood that there would be a modest increase in property value by connecting to municipal utilities because of the service life and reliability of those municipal systems. That valuation, I mean, that's ultimately very property-specific and dependent when it comes to that. But in general terms, a home connected to city water and sewer would be expected to command a higher sale price than those comparatively served by well and septic system, assuming all the other factors remain equal. I'll probably kick it over to Jesse to talk a little bit about financial impact to property owners related to connection and some of the other items in the memo at this time.
Thank you, Paul. So we reiterated a lot of the items that were in the previous memo, talking about the connection charge, SAC and WAC, and the required city excavation permit. The connection charge is a fee that's set by the council that can be changed if the council so wishes to something other than what it is currently. We included a couple different options for the council to consider. As of right now, it's roughly 17,000 and change. And then that would be under the purview of the council to set to something that would give staff direction moving forward. We highlighted some of the considerations in the special assessment policy for potential for expansion and extension of utilities and how the policy is currently written. Again, that is a policy that the council can defer from if they so wish. So that's entirely up to the council how they want to assess properties for different infrastructure improvement projects. And then we also included a few different bullet points in regards to improvements that not only are like capital improvements during construction, but also improvements from public works services standpoint if some of these streets are brought within the city purview, similar to what we do with other city streets, snow removal, pothole patch and crack filling, stormwater drainage repairs and maintenance. So there's a lot of different pieces that public works is involved with in regards to any of our streets that we take on. But with that, we can definitely answer any questions that the council has in regards to any of the different sections, depending on what your question is.
All right, thank you, guys. So if anyone on council has questions for staff, now is the time. Jezak?
Yeah, regarding the lift stations and it's been, I've been told that these properties that will require a lift station will also have to, under state building code, be required to have a redundant backup pump and or a battery or a power supply if the power fails. And can somebody confirm if that is indeed part of our building code, at least the state building code that we're, I believe, obliged to follow?
Anyone on staff?
Thank you, Mr. Cheslak. I'm not aware of anything in the building code that controls individual grinder stations like would be installed on a private property like this. Most of the individual grinder station packages that you would purchase from a supplier come with a prefabricated fiberglass basin, one individual pump in the bottom of that grinder station, and typically it's one power source to that grinder station. And so I'm not aware of any requirements in the building code that would trump that. A good example is, the city of East Gull Lake has hundreds of these systems, and they have, we actually reached out to them and we were looking at the cost to install an individual grinder station or lift station for a single property. Their package comes from a local supplier, WW Getch. They're pretty standard, prepackaged, manufactured grinder stations. They come with one pump. You have an electrician hook up the power supply. If that power line gets cut, usually there's, they'll know it before the lift station overflows. There's usually an alarm system that comes along with that. So I'm not aware of anything in the code that would make that a problem.
Okay, thank you. And then as far as the requirements for lift stations and that, if there were annex properties that have that need to do that, I know there was a mention that we could potentially do something on the city side and help out properties. I don't know if it'd be individualized, but in regards to the lift stations that some of these properties may be required to, are we, is that determined by us as a city then, if that's something we have to make sure is done properly? Is there inspection of that by the city, I would assume, based on our building code or building official being involved? Is that?
I'm not so sure I understand your question, Mr.
Well, I mean,
Chazak, so.
if they're required to put in a lift station, then I would assume that our building official would be inspecting all that?
Yeah, it would be a requirement of the plumbing code, I believe, so it would be a part of the building plan.
Okay, that's all I have for now, Mr. Chairman, or Mr. President.
Mr. Chazak, does anybody else have questions for staff? One quick question, James. If this were to go through, which this would be step one of many before any annexation would even come to the table, would the annexations be parcel by parcel, or would it have to be the entire Area 1 or Area 2 at that time?
So that would be up to city council direction. Area 1 would be subject because they're all either next to current municipal utilities or island properties, but city council could provide direction how they see fit to staff.
If there were specific parcels that didn't quite fit the same mold as far as what their costs might be, we could save that annexation for a later date at that time.
That's correct.
Potentially. Okay. All right.
One other, if nobody's, I got one more.
I don't see anybody else raising their hand. Go ahead, Mr. Chazak.
As far as people eligible to perform the work of, whether it's the property owner's side of the hookup, can anybody licensed in the state of Minnesota do this work as long as they pay the fee to operate in Brainerd?
Yeah, Mr.
Yes,
Krabs.
thank you, Mr. President. So to do the install of these private systems, you would have to have an SSTS bond and then be licensed by the city.
And is that an additional charge for a lot of contractors that might be able to do this?
It's a $50 registration fee to essentially have a contractor's registration in order to do that. And then they're required by the state to hold that $25,000 bond as well. So it's not a high cost to do that. We ensure that obviously that they have that bond and it's active with the state of Minnesota, and then we review their insurance to make sure it's meeting the criteria as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. So if there are no further questions up here, 2 weeks ago we had the public hearing. We've heard from a lot of you guys. We've had a lot of emails as well. But at this time, we need to make a decision. But it's up to everybody up here if somebody wants to take a shot at a motion.
Stab at it.
Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move to approve the attached resolution, the orderly annexation agreement, as presented, and I so move.
Motion by Johnson. Looking for a second.
Second.
Second by Erickson. Any discussion on the motion? Johnson, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we already went through this. I already stated why we need an agreement last time. We still have to have an agreement. Otherwise, if we just say, no, we're never going to have an agreement and never plan for the future, we refuse because people showed up to the council meeting. What we are saying is that red area there, any one of those properties has the right to hook up to our water system, our sewer system, and put whatever the heck they want in it without any oversight or ability to control it in the city of Brainerd. We have to find a solution. If this isn't the perfect agreement, which it's not, go ahead and propose what we need to change to make it more palatable. But we have to plan for the future. We can't just not plan because 20 people showed up to a council meeting. It's utterly ridiculous. So I think we should pass it as is or with any changes anybody may propose.
Thank you, Chairman Johnson. Erickson?
I just wanted to say, 2 weeks ago, I expressed desire to kind of hold off. I thought people brought up some really good questions and give staff time to address some of those questions. I just want to commend staff on their patience and your expertise and your ability to prepare this and answer those questions. I know several people who were even opposed to it had commented and expressed the same. So thank you and an excellent job putting this together. And then to tag on to what Councilman Johnson said, I had watched the county meeting, and a lot of these unincorporated areas exist obviously throughout the state. And I thought somebody brought up at the meeting that, this is a very unique area, and it's one of the most highly developed areas that's unincorporated without a township. I believe they said in the state, and I just think that, it's, as Councilman Johnson said, it's due diligence on the part of the city to move forward, and I wanted to give extra time for folks' questions to be answered and to work through some of those. And I think we did that, and I think staff's done an excellent job preparing this and putting this together, so.
Chairman? Anyone else? Bevins?
I'm going to vote against the ordinance. And it's not because I think it's the best thing for the citizens or the city of Brainerd. I think if you have an opportunity and you're on a waterfront to hook up and mitigate or minimize the environmental impact of sanitary sewer, you have and it's available, you have an obligation to do that. If you're in the yellow up there, that's really not part of this discussion. That's not available now. But if you're in the red, and you didn't know this was coming, then you weren't paying attention in 2003 when we talked about this and you were going to have to do it. I think the ordinance is fantastic, and I think you're right. I just think it's going the wrong way. Here's why. I think when your sewer fails, you're obligated, when your septic fails, you're obligated and should, in good conscience, hook up to the available sewer. I believe the onus falls on the county to encourage that. These people are county residents. The other thing is, we told them when we sold our soul to get this project done and told them we would not forcibly annex them because we wanted to take advantage of the fact that the county was building a new road, and that was the time to put this sewer project in. We knew then that the sewer was going to be available. We were going to have this funny red section, and we agreed to that to get the project done. That being said, if you own property in there and you have a sewer that fails, and you don't understand the obligation that you have to the environment, I'm going to be in disagreement with you. But this is us on the outside of those people trying to get them to come in, and I really think the onus goes on the county to say your septic fails, you have available sewer, hook up now. And that's where it should be going, not with this. So I'm going to vote against it for all those reasons. Thank you.
Understood. I think from my perspective, I don't see the county doing that. I don't think that I see a whole lot of people choosing to hook up over replacing a septic. I think replacing a septic every 10 to 15 years becomes more expensive than hooking up to the city in the long run. But when it comes down to it, the people that live in this area are represented by the county. Until they annex in, we don't technically represent anybody in that zone. We represent everybody else that's outside that zone that lives along that corridor. And until everybody is on the same page and paying for the next reconstruction of that road, which is going to come up at some point, if we're representing the people in the city in the right way, I think we pass this ordinance. This resolution doesn't annex anybody. Mr. Johnson pointed that out. It next goes to the county, and they can have their discussion. They can send it back to us. They can approve it as well. Then it goes to a judge, and then it sits until we can figure everything out. So this is a slow process. This is just step one of a very long process. I'm comfortable with it. I think it allows for us to plan. I think it allows for everybody else to plan and kind of see what's coming. But this is not an overreaching grab right now. This is just part of future planning. So with that, if anybody has any more comments.
Mr. President?
Mr. Chazak.
Yeah, I can't imagine anybody up here is comfortable doing this if they're in favor of this, even if they're not in favor of it. It's not an easy decision. We asked staff to get together close to a year ago with the county staff, and I said at the last meeting that this is what we all should have seen coming, that people are going to object to this. I think every one of us knew that was coming. We should have. I remember in '03 when this was discussed at length over and over, there was a lot of time spent on this and a lot of things going on. Not an easy choice back then just to put in the infrastructure, and that was all paid for eventually, and it still creates revenue as it sits there today. The environmental issues are sound. Mr. Bevins hinted at those for sure with the failure of a septic. The county does not inspect or require inspections of their septic systems. And that, again, going back to what happened back then, how it moved forward, I don't think that was the best way to go about this. We have to be responsible and do what, I guess what I would say to kick the can down the road from this point is just putting this burden on another council on another day somewhere. If it's a year or 2 or 10 or 20, it's going to happen. And as we try to take our jobs responsibly, I don't want to be in the shoes of any of the people out there that are affected by this eventually. It's one of those, I call it the beast of burden, as making a decision when you're elected. None of us take it lightly, and I appreciate everybody's position on this, whether in favor of it or not. I know it's not easy for anybody. That's all I have.
Mr. Chesak? Anyone else? Seeing no more discussion, Tony, call the roll.
Bevins?
No.
Chesak?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Stunek?
Nope.
Yeager?
No.
Erickson?
Yes.
O'Day?
Yes. That resolution carries. All right. Moving on to 9C, comprehensive plan update and review proposals. I think this is Mr. Kramvik.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. So the last update to the comprehensive plan was in 2019. Staff proposed reviewing the entire comprehensive plan at a high level to ensure consistency of our zoning code, with the primary objective of increasing the threshold at which a mandatory environmental assessment worksheet is required. An updated comprehensive plan will be beneficial for developers when proposing a project and will ensure the city has land use, transportation, and utility services planning in place for potential development projects. This will also streamline the process for developers and ensure that our infrastructure and the environment can support new development in a proposed area without needing the EAW. In addition, an enhanced implementation plan will ensure the city is meeting the goals and action items listed in the comprehensive plan. Just wanted to note that the update will not meet all the requirements of the EQB chair, but would bring the city closer to achieving this goal. The Planning Commission recommended Swanson Haskamp. The scoring metrics were provided in the agenda item. So with that, staff recommend a motion to accept the proposal of Swanson Haskamp Consulting to complete the comprehensive plan amendment as presented. If approved, we'd bring an agreement back to a subsequent city council meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Kramvik. Anybody have questions? If there are none, we're looking for a motion. Looking for a motion to accept the proposal from Swanson Haskamp Consulting to complete the comprehensive plan amendment as presented.
So move.
Second.
By Erickson, second by Yeager. Bevins?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll be voting against this motion. I understand the need to update the comprehensive plan, but just based on past performance, I can't support Swanson Haskamp. We begged them year after year, meeting after meeting, to put a number on the value of the annex. Only when we threatened not to renew their contract did they finally, after 10 years, come up with a number. We asked them 10 years ago. I was on the EDA for 12 years. We asked them to put together a proposal on developing underdeveloped properties on the corridors in the city of Brainerd. So far, 10 years later, we've gotten nothing. Yet we continue to pay them year after year to represent us in economic development. I would pick either of the other two rather than Swanson Hascam. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bevins. Anybody else have comments? Oh, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I will be voting no as well for two reasons. I do understand the need to update the comprehensive plan. I do not think we need to update a 5-year-old comprehensive plan. If we are updating a comprehensive plan after it's been in effect for 5 years, it's a bad plan. It's not very comprehensive at all. Who helped us do that? Swanson Hascam Consulting. Well, why are we going to let somebody make a incomplete plan, come back and tell us, hey, if you give us another $30,000, we'll do what we didn't do for you last time? I just don't buy it, so I'm going to be voting no.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Chesak?
I value historical record and people speaking to that effect on the council. It really gives me a lot of incentive on how to vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chesak. Erickson?
I'll just add too, when this was brought for the planning commission, I'm going to support the motion, but we did have a scoring and some discussion on that. And I guess I share some of the sentiment there, but I'm going to support the motion in keeping with the planning commission's recommendation.
Thank you. Anybody else? I'll say I'm gonna support the motion. I understand where everybody's coming from, but you have somebody that has a lot of history with the comprehensive plan, with all of our zoning code that we went through and redid. There's just a lot of knowledge about the city. The comprehensive plan in my head, it's just a comprehensive plan about what we want or what we generally think about a lot of things. A lot of it doesn't come true. So it's beyond me why we're doing it this early again as well, but it sounds like it's something that we planned for this year, so I'm going to support the motion. Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, my question is, how long is this comprehensive plan going to last? Will this be more comprehensive?
Mr. Kramvik?
Yeah, so certainly taking a broad overview of it to ensure that it's still kind of meeting our objectives is important. Creating that higher threshold, I think, would also be very beneficial to developers in the city, and that's the approach that I guess I'm taking from that is the increased threshold that we have, as well as starting to implement some of our sanitary plans, transportation plans to ensure when a developer comes in here, we're ready for that, and we can even move quicker than what we've done in the past.
Okay.
That helps. Thanks, Mr. Kramvik. Anybody else?
Roll call, please.
Tony?
Bevins?
No.
Chesak?
No.
Johnson?
No.
Stunek?
Nope.
Yeager?
Yes.
Erickson?
Yes.
O'Day?
Yes. That motion fails, 4-3. If anybody wants to try another motion.
Mr. Chair, may I ask a question of either our representative, our liaison, or Mr. Krambeck?
Yeah, whoever.
Who was the second choice? Was it dollars and cents of the planning commission?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to defer to James.
They're virtually identical money, if I'm not mistaken.
Bolton and Mankus.
I wish there was one that had a Brainerd address. No, I'm dead serious.
Is that a motion?
So there's the vote. Bolton and Mink was second.
Mr. Chair, I would motion to budget $27,993 and hire Bolton and Mink, and hopefully they can do a better job.
Second.
Motion by Bevins, second by Erickson. Discussion?
Mr. President?
Yeah, Mr.
The
Chesak.
motion was to budget?
Well, I'm sorry, to expense, to hire.
Okay.
Award the
Thank
contract.
you, Mr. Chesak.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
I would appreciate any comment from our engineers, but it seems like Bolton and Mink, we've been using them for our water at the public utilities, and they seem to be doing a good job. As a matter of fact, they've been to almost every meeting. I'm surprised they're not here tonight. But from what I can tell, it appears staff has not given me any indication that they're not doing a good job.
Yeah, I would say that both the firms, WSB and Bolton and Mink, would certainly have the expertise and knowledge. I mean, working specifically for WSB in the past, I know their planning group well. I know the Bolton and Mink planners well. They all have the expertise and ability to perform the services. And they have local offices
In Baxter.
in Baxter.
That's twice you brought that city up tonight.
Kind of bothers me a little bit, Mr. Chair, sorry. I just
I
like to
hear
hire,
you.
I like to hire local people if we can.
I'm with you. Mr. Erickson?
So, yeah, I seconded the motion. I just wanted to weigh in too. The planning commission did review all three applications, and all three of the applications were very good. I had made comments to that effect, for both WSB and Bolton and Menk myself at the planning commission. And, as you see, Swanson and Haskamp did, come out as the recommendation from the planning commission, but, from my seat, I think the other two were very good applications as well. And as you can see from the price points, they were all very competitive. And so I'm going to vote in favor of the current motion. And I wanted to also just ask a point of order, perhaps of staff. Are we this is a separate motion, so we're not reversing the planning commission's recommendation, I think, or do we have to have that supermajority to do that? That came up at a previous, when we reversed the planning commission recommendation. Am I out of order?
Mr. Kramvik?
I do not believe so. This is a recommendation by the planning commission, their recommending body, so it is ultimately up to city council.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Is that all, Mr. Erickson?
That's it.
Okay, thank you. I will support the motion as well. I think we'll do a roll call vote. If anybody has a last comment, doesn't look like it. Tony?
Bevins?
Yes.
Chesak?
Yes.
Johnson? No. Stunek?
Yes.
Yeager?
Yes.
Erickson?
Yes.
O'Day?
Yes, that motion carries. Next up, we have 9D. This is a resolution for business subsidy for the dermatology clinic. And again, this is James Kramvik.
Thank you, Mr. President. So the purpose of this agenda item is for City Council to adopt the attached resolution, which approves the subsidy granted by the EDA to the developer as provided pursuant to the business subsidy agreement. Summary includes the following. Developer will determine if the option property will be improved within 5 years of the certificate of occupancy. They must operate the facility for 5 years. 21 full-time staff must be maintained with the creation of 1 full-time job. Staff included the purchase and development agreement in the agenda. I do want to note that we did receive the final appraisal report today, and the total land value will need to be slightly adjusted from $231,725 to $230,000. The amended PDA should go out to EDA members tomorrow for their review after our attorney reviews it. So with that, staff recommends a motion to approve the attached resolution as presented, and I can answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Kramvik. Anybody have questions?
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Bevins?
move to adopt the attached resolution.
Second.
Motion by Bevins, second by Stunek. Any discussion on the motion? Tony?
Bevins?
Yes.
Chesak?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Stunek?
Yes.
Yeager?
Yes.
Erickson?
Yes.
O'Day?
Yes, that resolution carries. And that is it for unfinished business. Moving on to new business. 10A, a conditional use permit for dermatology clinic 1410 and 1424 TC Drive. Mr. Kramvik?
Thank you, Mr. President. Central Minnesota Dermatology has requested a CUP to exceed the parking lot maximum size at 1410 and 1424 TC Drive to allow for the construction of the dermatology clinic. Buildings with multiple levels are allowed to apply for a conditional use permit to exceed the maximum. The applicant did speak at the Planning Commission meeting and talked about the need for additional off-street parking kind of spaces per provider. Planning Commission considered this request at their meeting at the February 18th and unanimously recommended approval. So with that, staff recommends a motion to approve the conditional use permit for 65 off-street parking spaces at 1410 and 1424 TC Drive for the construction of the dermatology clinic as presented.
Thank you, Mr. Kramvik. Anybody have questions for James? Mr. Chesak?
Thank you. Was there any discussion about if and when the building, there's something developed in the third site for parking and how that might affect what's being proposed right now?
So the third site is an option property. Certainly they could potentially utilize some of the parking that has been implemented there, but would probably still need some off-street parking for that property as well. obviously, we don't have a final plan or a final look of what that would be, so we'd have to determine at that time the appropriate needs for that site.
Right now, it'll just be all speculation then.
Right now, it's just speculation.
Thank you. That's all I got. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Chesak.
Move to approve. Yes, move to approve the conditional use permit for 65 off-street parking spaces at 1410 and 1424 TC Drive for the construction of a dermatology clinic as presented.
Second, Johnson.
Motion by Bevins, second by Johnson, third by Stunek. Any discussion on that motion? Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, I just want to say I love this project. I think it's great. City's very happy to have it. It's a lot of parking. Hope that means that there's going to be a lot of business. Do want to remind, this is an industrial park, so when it comes later on and something's smelly or something's loud or something, just remember, this is an industrial park. So we love having it. We love having you guys do it. We're super excited for this project.
65 parking spots is a lot of skin. A lot of skin to check out. Any more discussion? Seeing none, let's go to a vote. Yeah, this is a voice vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Against, same sign. Motion carries. Next up, we have it's 10B. This is a variance, a setback from existing structures at 2602 11th Street Southeast. James, take it away.
Thank you, Mr. President. So Kathy Thompson, on behalf of Superior Fuel Company, has applied for a variance at 2602 South 11th Street to reduce the setback requirements for existing storage buildings to subdivide the property. The future use is intended to be for mini storage. The general industrial district requires a minimum of a 30-foot rear yard setback and a 40-foot front yard setback. The applicant is requesting a reduced rear yard setback of 13 feet and a reduced front yard setback of 24 feet for the existing storage buildings to allow for the subdivision of the property. Practical difficulty is due to the fact that these are existing buildings and an existing fuel storage tank requires a 50-foot property line setback per fire code requirements. Planning Commission considered this request at their meeting on February 18th and unanimously recommended approval. So with that, staff recommends a motion to approve the variance request for the reduced setbacks for the existing structures as presented in order to subdivide the property, and I can answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Kramvik. Anybody have questions? I think they're getting tired up here. No questions. If not, we're looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the variance request for reduced setbacks for the existing structures as presented on order to subdivide this property, and I so move. Yeager.
Motion by Yeager, second by Chesak. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, let's go to a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against, same sign. Motion carries. All right, moving on to 10C. This is a resolution, improvement 25-06, 2026 resurfacing project, receiving a feasibility report and calling for PH.
Public hearing.
Is that?
Public hearing.
Okay. All these acronyms. Go ahead, Mr. Dean.
Thank you, Mr. President. So attached is the feasibility report for improvement 2506, which includes all the streets that are planned for resurfacing in 2026. Those streets include Graydon, Spruce, Hillcrest, Pine Street, Delmar, and South 11th in the industrial park. So included in the feasibility report, we did have two options for the council to provide some direction to the staff in regards to. First would be the potential to add some adjacent angled parking stalls on the north side of J.C.'s Park, adjacent to the south side of Pine Street. This was to explore the potential to add some parking stalls for during like baseball tournaments in the park. As the cost is estimated to be over $40,000 to add that angle parking, we only had net an additional 2 stalls. Staff is recommending not pursuing this option further into design. Second, there are 2 options for resurfacing on Delmar Drive and Circle. Staff has laid out the 2 options in the agenda item. Based on our special assessment policy, the assessment to property owners would be different depending on if an overlay is planned versus a pavement removal or milling and resurfacing was proposed. So based on the information in the report, staff is recommending removal of the entire 2-inch section and replacement, thus assessing the cost at 50% between the city and the adjacent property owners. So with that, staff has two recommended actions for the council. First would be adopting the resolution that it receives the attached feasibility report and then calls for the public hearing on the proposed improvement to be held on the council meeting on April 6th. And then secondarily, providing direction to staff on the two alternatives. Staff's recommendation is no inclusion of the additional Pine Street angled parking stalls. And the second would be Delmar Drive and Delmar Circle to be resurfaced, removing it fully and replacing the pavement section. And further, we have staff from WSB who is instrumental in preparing the report for the council. They are here and can answer questions for the council as needed.
Thank you, Mr. Dean. Anybody have questions? Mr. Chesak?
Yeah, I guess I'm wondering about the street and the stormwater runoff and the culvert system. Is that all in the way it was designed to be? I've heard some information that, I don't know if it's Delmar, but there's some areas out there that don't have the proper drainage with underground culverts and that. Is that something we're gonna look at in this project, if it's necessary?
There are two segments of the project that have rural sections. They do not have current curb and gutter. I think you might be referencing Sugarberry, which does have areas where there's lacking of driveway pipe and in different areas where they have that issue. That is not part of this project.
Okay, so there's no stormwater runoff or culvert need for anything under Delmar is what you're saying? I don't hear it.
Nothing that I am aware of, sir.
Okay, all right, that's all I had. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Chesak. Mr. Johnson?
What are the dimensions of a parking spot?
So it can vary. Generally, a parallel parking spot would be 8 by 20, give or take. The angle
So we could fit 10 on the street currently at 20 feet apiece. We have 200 feet. We take that 200 feet and we put diagonal parking and we only get 12 cars in that 200 feet. How wide are those parking stalls?
They do take up quite a bit of linear space when you angle them out. WSB staff was
If they're
able to.
8 feet wide divided by 200, or 200 divided by 8, I'm looking at a lot more than 12.
WSB staff was able to draft
Excess
that
of
up.
20. So I think we should include, I think it's only 12 spots instead of what's a current 10 is not honest. That I find disheartening that staff wants to not include that and then present information that just doesn't make sense mathematically. But I'll definitely hear WSB out.
Mr. Dean, is there a rendering of that design or no?
If you go to page 422, it does show the layout of those stalls within the area on the north side of the park.
Would that require handicap in there too?
It would not.
Okay.
Okay. So there's still spots outside of those diagonal parking stalls. Is that included in your total count?
No, the 200 feet is for the 10 stalls. The 207 and change.
Okay. Does that make any more or less sense, Mr. Johnson?
I mean, 169 feet and divide that by 8, I'm getting 20. It's just math.
You're not going to that diagonal. You're losing some because of the diagonal.
No, I'm saying the 169 is what we have linear. The 207 is the back, and we lose the 207, goes down to 169.
A dimension at an angle is longer than straight across. So when you turn them into trapezoids, the dimension's longer.
It's 14 feet across the diagonal front of the stall, it looks like.
Oh, so you're doing 14-foot stalls.
10-foot stall. See the angled difference there?
Yeah.
That's 4 feet.
All right, I'm still not buying it.
All right. Any more, Mr. Yeager?
I just had a quick question. I wanted to make sure I understand. This is on page 406. These are the Delmar improvements, and there was a bid alt in there. So the first version, there's a 78,000, and then the alternate is 119. Is that an additional 119 to the 78, or is it a new total of 119?
It's a new total of 119.
Okay, so it's only Okay, that's all, thank you.
Yep.
All right. And I see we have somebody that has approached the stand. Are you from WSB?
Correct. Yeah, my name's
Are you
Ethan
just here to
Yuso.
answer questions, or do you have something that you wanted to?
Just here to answer questions.
Okay.
What's your name?
My name's Ethan Yuso. I'm with WSB, project manager, in
Welcome.
Baxter.
And Baxter. Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, I just want to say that the park board absolutely 100% supports the diagonal parking on Pine Street. Actually, last year we had a couple tournaments that we've kind of told them, hang tight, we're going to figure that out. Since the parking lot inside JC's has been removed. One of the big things we've pushed is removing of parking lots, making on-street parking. This is a great option to do it. We did it at Bain, and it looks fantastic. It's just a way of getting people closer to the park, but then expanding the park so that the park is actually a park and not a parking lot. And so the park board 100% supports that, and as far as I know, would love to see that continue.
Thank you.
Can I?
Yeah, Mr. Chesak, go ahead.
So you're talking about, I mean, I understand Gabe's concern about the math.
Well, the math makes sense now, Jeff. I apologize. I was told they were 8 feet wide. They're 14.14 feet wide, so that changes the math. So the math makes sense now that they're not 8 feet wide, they're 14 feet wide.
Okay, so but we would only gain 2 parking spots for $40,000 if we redo that parking area, is what I'm hearing staff say. Is that correct?
That was the estimate that we've put together in the feasibility report.
That seems like a lot of money to enhance the lot or the parking area by 2 vehicles. That doesn't make sense to me to do that.
It might be.
For that kind of money.
I noticed that it's a 45-degree angled diagonal parking. Sometimes we see 65, and that would probably save a little bit of space. Am I off on that?
The steeper the angle, you can gain more space. So if you were to go the full 90, that would be about as many stalls. It's just a matter of you're now backing the vehicles out into a traffic lane differently. So we can definitely do a handful of different options. This is typical to what we have for adjacent on-street parking, such as this would be 45-degree angle, but we can definitely go a different route if the council wishes.
I don't need to sell these.
Anybody else have questions? Mr. Yeager?
Just one thing I did want to point out, that as a consideration for angled parking is, a lot of people do feel that it is safer because you don't have driver and passenger opening car doors towards into traffic. So don't know if that carries any weight, but that is one good argument for why we like parallel parking around, especially places with kids, parks, those types of areas. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Yeager. All right. If there's no more questions, we are looking for a motion. Do you have a question?
Just a comment. I mean, I think, I like the diagonal parking. I wish it wasn't 45 grand more. That's, I mean, even though it would only be 2 stalls, I think it'd be worth it for all the safety reasons that Mr. Yeager just brought up. I think it'd be worthwhile to do it if it wasn't so expensive for the little bit of difference.
Agreed.
You still have the same amount of curb.
So the good thing is about this whole thing is that we can discuss it even after we get the first motion done. So we can look for that first motion, and then we can go back to the discussion on parking, if that's what you guys want to do, because it sounds
Yeah,
like
let's
that's
do
the
that.
main focus.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to move the adoption of the resolution receiving the attached feasibility report and calling for the public hearing on the proposed improvement to be held April 6th at 7:30.
Second.
Motion by Bevins, second by Chezot. Any discussion on that motion? That one's not quite as interesting as the parking. That's okay. Seeing no discussion, Tony, call the roll.
Bevins?
Yes.
Chesak?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Stunek?
Yes.
Yeager?
Yes.
Erickson?
Yes.
O'Day?
Yes. That resolution carries. Next up, we're actually looking for a motion to direct staff on those 2 alternative options. One is the recommendation to not include an additional Pine Street angled parking stall or stalls. And the second is the Delmar Drive and Circle to be resurfaced, removing and replacing the pavement section. So let's discuss that. Mr. Johnson,
Can I just put a motion out that we can discuss?
Yeah, if you want to throw a motion out there, we'll
I'd move to include both the Pine Street parking stalls and Delmar Drive and Circle to be resurfaced, and I so move.
Second.
motion by Johnson, second by Bevins. Johnson?
I think the Pine Street angled parking stalls are really important for the safety of the park users. I think for the visitors who come in for the baseball tournaments every weekend in June and July, it's a better visual of, this is where I park. These are angled parking spots, here's the park, park there. Instead of in people's driveways and all over the place. I think it's important to include those, even at the cost of $50,000.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Bevins?
I agree with everything Mr. Johnson said, except for I think our staff has an obligation to go back to our contractor and work these numbers a little bit and report back in 2 weeks.
I was going to ask if this is, we're going to see this again in a future project in a final design.
Yeah, the project isn't designed fully yet. This is just the initial feasibility estimate, just to give council something to chew on for direction to staff. With direction from council to staff, we'll work with WSB to draw up a final design and a more refined estimate.
Okay. Excellent. Any more discussion, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, you're finding out what I have been harping on forever. Parking is expensive. Parking lots are about $250,000 to $300,000 a piece, and we have a lot of them. And it continues to be an issue for the city, but that's the case. Parking is expensive. People, we have yet to convince people that they don't have to park their cars. We have yet to do it as a city. So I would just continue to say, yeah, I don't like that parking is expensive, but here we are in 2026, and people drive cars.
What if you want to get out of your car?
Listen, I am a person that says, get out of your car.
Just ghost ride.
Get out of it. But good luck. It's expensive all around.
Agreed. All right.
Just clarification on the motion, that this is to include the additional funds for the diagonal, is that correct?
It is to include the additional Pine Street angled parking stalls. It doesn't necessarily say the funds, but that design will come back.
And, okay, and then we're just doing the staff's recommendation on the Delmar and Circle? Is that on the motion?
Yes.
Okay. And then just to reassure the mayor, I've quit driving my car years ago. So.
Parked it.
And I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
All right. Any more discussion on the motion? Seeing none, let's go to a vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Against, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, sir. All right, that does it for 10C. Moving on to 10D. This is a Charter Direct special meeting with the Charter Commission. Nick Broyles, go ahead, take it away.
Thank you, Mr. President. I will try to be very brief. In the agenda item, I just gave a little bit of a history there, which you're all aware of. The last paragraph under the summary of issues is at the joint meeting on February 19th. The Charter Commission did vote out of their body unanimously to forward a draft charter for consideration by the City Council. So attached in this agenda item are three things. It's the current charter as it sits today, a modified red line version in which we've gotten some pretty positive feedback on, at least the format, not necessarily content, but the format. And then number three, a clean version reflecting incorporated comments from the Charter Commission, the Public Utilities Commission. So my goal in this agenda item tonight is not necessarily to discuss the comments, but we're asking council to direct staff to schedule a joint special meeting with the City Council and the Charter Commission. And I would work with President O'Day and Chairman Shipe to find a meeting that's agreeable to both, and we can get noticed in time, but we'll do it as quickly as we can. I'd be happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Broyles. Does anybody have questions? Mr. Chesak?
Nick, could we have just taken the recommendation from the Charter Commission at the last meeting and moved forward with seeing if the council wanted to vote on this?
That is absolutely within the purview of the council. If you guys have reviewed the draft and you want to vote on it tonight, you certainly have that privilege.
Okay. I was a little surprised to see it done this way. I expected to actually to see this on our agenda to see if the council wanted to entertain voting on this, but I'm not, it's not a criticism of what you're suggesting here. I just was kind of surprised to see it going this way.
Anything else, Mr. Chesak?
Nope.
Okay. Anybody else have questions? Is anybody interested in having a joint meeting with the Charter Commission?
Am I interested? I'm willing.
You're willing, okay.
Negative.
Stunek
Negative.
is not in support,
He
okay.
wants to talk about spraying for mosquitoes. Don't pay any attention to him.
Measuring snow maybe too.
Measuring snow with the gnome.
It's not
Snow
done
gnome.
yet. I'm gonna
So-
do one more time.
We can have that meeting anytime within now, the next few weeks, or next month, or whatever. Or we can have that recommendation come back to us at the next meeting, and we can vote on it and give a recommendation back to the Charter Commission on anything into the future. It's up to us up here, so.
I would suggest as early as a week from tonight. The odd Monday.
I will be 2,000 miles away.
As will I.
That's up to you guys, if you guys want to
Oh,
do
is
that.
that,
Spring break.
spring break? How about the fourth Monday?
Stunek says no.
What's that?
Stunek says no.
Yeah, but he said no to everything.
I don't know what these guys are thinking over here. But
I saw lots of head.
let's just have a motion on whether or not we want to have that meeting. How about that?
Mr. President, I move that we have a joint meeting with the Charter Commission on the 23rd.
Can we leave the date open for now?
Sure.
Okay, you want to have a motion,
Second.
A motion.
joint meeting? Motion by Chesak, second by Bevins.
Limit the number of options, Tony.
Tony, maybe, yeah, reach out and do something. We'll coordinate.
A doodle poll.
Little poll, okay. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, let's go to a vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against, same sign. You changed your mind. That motion
Peer
carries.
pressure.
I promised him a stool he could sit on.
Peer
Okay.
pressure.
All right. That does it for new business. Moving on to staff reports. Tony Gage, what do you got for us tonight? All right. Chief Holmes?
Nothing extra, thank you.
Deputy Chief Rundy?
Nothing tonight.
Max Hennon, anything? Teresa Burke? Connie Hillman? Jesse Dean? He's
Nothing
got
to what's
something.
in the report.
Oh. James Krambeck, you always got something.
I have something. Thank you, Mr.
You
President.
can always rely on James
Yep.
for something.
So just wanted to mention that we do have a busy EDA schedule coming for this Thursday at 7:30 a.m. The items included in the agenda are the PDA and conveyance of the property for the dermatology clinic, an agreement with the Chamber for the Washington Street mitigation plan. Central Minnesota Housing Partnership is revisiting a proposal for residential development on the Wright Street extension, and then approval of an agreement with Bladec to administer the facade and sign grant program.
Excellent. Thank you, James. Brittany Cummett?
Nothing to report.
Oh. Paul Sandy?
Thank you, Mr. President. So pursuant to our last meeting, council authorized staff to apply for $10 million for Congressman Stauber's community funding request for the wastewater treatment facility Phase 1 biosolids project. That application did get submitted today. I'm going to be trying to work with Mayor Bedeau and President O'Day to try to get a meeting with Mr. Stauber to come and visit the facility or meet him wherever he's at. So part of this process, I've been working with the commission heard this last time, but we're going to try to set up some tours of the wastewater treatment facility or other facilities. So I'll be kind of working on sending out a doodle poll to council members that may be interested in that. If it comes down to where we have a quorum, we might have to notice that, but look for something from me here in the near future to tour. I'm thinking I'm going to do this in 3 parts, one for the wastewater treatment facility, one for the water treatment plant, and one for the hydro dam. And so that'll be open to council members, commission members, and some staff that haven't been able to tour those facilities yet in their time here. So look out for something from me moving forward the
Very
next
good.
couple weeks.
Thank you, Mr. Sandy. Eric Charpentier, you out there?
Nothing to add, Mr. President?
Thank you, Eric. Joe Langle, anything from you tonight?
Nothing here, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Administrator Broyles? No, sir. Nothing to add. All right. Let's listen to the mayor talk for a little while.
Come on, take the wind out of my sails. I'll tell you what, folks, we learned today that March is feisty. Council is feisty tonight, and I like that. I like a little feist in my council. We're coming up on St. Patrick's Day. Just remember that right here in the beautiful town of Brainerd, Minnesota, we love to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Saturday, September 14th, parade at 1 p.m. There will also be the wonderful treasure hunt, as we said last time, so participate in that. But there's a parade as well, and I will not be there, as I said. I will be in Florida with my son watching some baseball. But I would like to find someone on this council here to represent me. So I'm doing this in front of the public because we do the public's business in the public's eye. And I'm putting it out to you guys right up here right now to let all the public know that I have asked you, one of you, to step in for me and ride a wonderful float in our wonderful St. Patrick's Day parade.
Any takers?
Do we get the?
Oh, Gabe raised his hand.
I would love to. Unfortunately, I will be out of town that day.
Okay.
Do we get the scepter and the crown and everything, the cape? The mayor?
Sadly, the scepter and the crown cannot be passed from me to you because I am the supreme leader and you are a lowly council member. So I can't do that, but you can wear a sash. I will make one for you. And you can also wave to the wonderful public. You don't have to answer now. You guys can answer me later. But I do want to just let people know, if you are watching the St. Patrick's Day parade and you don't see one of these people in one of those vehicles, they do not like to party. So I just want you to know that. End of report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Always a pleasure. Let's start with Mr. Stunek.
Oh, I've got stuff.
What?
I don't know. Give me a break. I don't know how close we read the paper, all of us, but 100 years ago today, they punched a road in from the west side of Laurel Street Bridge all the way to Aaron's Hill. It was called East River Road, or River Scenic Road, which is now Riverside Drive, which seemed appropriate with our audience tonight. So just thought I'd let you know that.
100 years later.
Years ago.
I was almost there.
Thank
That's
you,
my
Stunek.
report. End of
Thanks the
report.
road to
Thank you,
Stunek's
Stunek.
house.
Yeah, yeah. Mr. Chazak?
Boy, the surprises. The council voted to deny the Rotarian Club to put in the small solar project down there at their park, and they have moved forward with that under the agreement that we first approved, where they would pay for the cost of repairs, maintenance, and then disposal. So they are apparently underway with that, and they accepted our first item on that it came back to us, and the new version had where the utility commission was going to be responsible for that. So that is being done, and also the Public Utility Commission did approve that the water service lines be included in the project, the Joseph Street and the, what's the other street? The alley over there in South Brainerd. So they've included water service line replacements for the property owners over there, so I was really glad they did that. But that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Chazak. Mr. Bevins?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A sure sign of spring in Ward 2. No, there was no sightings of bunnies, but there were yellow loaders from our street department scraping 6 and 8 feet of ice off the top of the storm drains. A sure sign of spring. It's coming. So, as you know, most of Ward 2 goes underwater because the storm sewers were done about the time that Stunek's Road was putting in, with a drain pipe, with a drain every.
I think I'd get a hold of your council representative and have a discussion.
I'm thrilled with the sure sign of spring. The other thing is, with the EDA meeting coming up, I sure hope we get an update on the 400-year-old block metrics project. End of report.
Thank you, Mr. Bevins. So we might want to check with public utilities on that one too, though.
Well, I'd like to know what's happened since we're now on phase 9.
That's a good question.
Wherever we're up to, I'd like to know. I think the deadline was a year or two ago for
Yeah.
them to do something.
A little overdue. Thank you, Mr. Bevins. Moving on to Mr. Yeager.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just real quickly before I get to the airport ticker, I would like to say, extend my appreciation to Mr. Davis. Wish him absolutely the best in his retirement. He was class act and always represented us very well with the city. So we have big shoes to fill with our incoming person. So and now I will jump to the airport, and I would like to first introduce you guys all to Mrs. Jennifer Roach. Come on up if you would, please. This is our new airport manager. We are very, very lucky to have her. I did ask her to come tonight just so we could all put a face with a name here, and very much appreciate her coming out. If you'd like to say a few words, I'll certainly give you the floor here for a sec. But just before that, I did want to say that we had a lot of positive energy coming back. If you remember, we were talking about an open house that was going to happen at the airport in May, and we basically outgrew what we thought we could pull off this year. So we are the airport commission did make the determination to slide this to a different date. Airport staff is going to get back to us on a date that's better, that gives us a little bit more time to prepare. This is going to be a sizable event, and we want to make sure that we succeed, and our time frame was quickly dwindling for the energy that we were getting back that people wanted to see with all the happenings going on out there. So, and don't forget, our morning flights are back beginning next week, so you'll have those to look forward to. And now I will turn, if you'd like to say a few words, Jennifer, please.
Jennifer.
Sure, Mr. Yeager. Mr. President, Mr. Mayor, Council, thank you so much for letting me introduce myself real quick. I'm not Brainerd local, I'm Little Falls local, 40 minutes down the road. Actually grew up in Piers, and after college decided to head off to the Army for a few years. Spent 20 years active duty flying Blackhawks, you could say around the world, couple tours to Afghanistan and back. I am just excited to be here. It's been great to be back in Little Falls the last 2.5 years, and I think I finally landed in the right spot here at the Brainerd Airport. I look forward to bringing aviation, continuing what's been born there, but continuing to improve both commercial and general aviation for our community and all it brings to the Brainerd Lakes area. So thank you. And I want to say thanks for all the support we get from the city of Brainerd, from the staff that supports our tiny organization out there. It's great. And of course, we couldn't do it without the city, the county, and the staff here. So thank you.
Thank you.
Do you commute with a helicopter then?
I wish. If the city wants to support that, I'd be all for it. Thank you.
Wait a minute.
Nice meeting you, Jennifer. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Chairman Johnson.
Okay, most of my stuff was covered, was EDA related. I would love to ride in the float for you, Dave. Sorry, I cannot. I really would like to tour the wastewater treatment facility. I've been on the council, this is my 12th year, I've never been over there, or inside the building, so that would be cool. I toured the dam once, and that building is awesome. That was amazing. And that's all I have to report.
Thank you for that. Chairman Johnson, Chairman Erickson.
Nothing further.
All right, thank you. I don't have much to add. I won't be able to attend the EDA meeting, but I think you guys got it under control. I share those regrets with Davis, but we still have 2 months with him. So if you got any crimes you want to commit and get under his skin, you go ahead and do it, but you might go to jail. He's still around.
Spicy. It's March.
Thanks for letting me know, since your dad doesn't let me know when he's gone.
You're welcome. I don't know what that had to do with it, but thank you, Stunek, for that report.
You said you're gonna be 2,000 miles away.
Well, okay.
Pick up the phone, please.
All right, we're looking for a motion to adjourn to the closed session pursuant to Minnesota Statutes 13D.05 subdivision 3A to conduct City Administrator Broyles' 2025 performance review.
So move.
Motion
Erickson.
by Erickson, second by Chesak. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Against, same sign. We are adjourned.